What's going on, everybody? I want to share with you what the subject says is my COVID response and recovery. And I'm on the recovery side of this. My wife and I came down with COVID this week, and I want to share with you our experience. And first of all, I want to preface this by saying I am not anti-vax or in any way opposed to the traditional allopathic approach to healing. I grew up with it. I grew up with vaccines and medications and doctor's visits and all those things. But something happened in my course of my life that allowed me to look at things differently. I started to look at healthcare from a different standpoint once I got an injury that the traditional approach said would not recover, and I went to a chiropractor and got the recovery response that I wanted, and it started to me to look at different approaches to healthcare. So that's why I got to where I am now. I started looking at alternatives whenever I come to any position. There's the well-chosen path, and there's other pathways. And I find sometimes the pathway that's less chosen is best. And with vaccines, I believe there's a time for everything. There's a time and a place for everything. But I believe that we should look at alternatives as we look at the best option for ourselves. With that being said, it was Tuesday morning. I woke up, I worked out, I started to work out. And as an athlete, you could tell when your body's not quite right. I didn't feel quite 100%, but that's happened on days when I had to kind of like push myself through it. A little brain fog, things like that is happening. But after my first couple sets, I'm pushing harder. I'm feeling like my body's not responding as like it should. And by my fourth set, I'm like, okay, this is not good. Something is not feeling right. So I stopped my workout, and this is Tuesday morning, and I could start to feel my body being a little bit stiff, a little weakness. So I thought, okay, I'm going to go into what's called my incubation period. So whenever I feel my body's coming down with something, I go into certain attack mode to try and head this thing off before it gets to its peak stage. So for me, whenever I feel like something's coming along, I start my vitamin C therapy, my iron, my zinc, my vitamin D, and then I will incubate, which means I put on several layers of clothing, like, two thermal layers of underwear, sweatpants, sweatshirt, and I get under like 3 or 4 levels of layers of bedding, whether it's comforters or quilts or whatever, and I will just sweat it out. And the attempt for me is to raise the core temperature of their body. Now, everybody's not going to agree with my approach, so don't accept this as your approach. This is what I know and what works for me. The viruses hate temperature, and one way that your body defeats the virus or attacks the virus is to raise its temperature. That's why when you feel you'll get at 102 or 103, this is your body's normal and natural reaction to its defense and to overcome whatever condition you have. So I know that, so I started raising my temperature, and it's very uncomfortable under there, but after a couple of hours, I'm usually in the clear. It's kind of like on the other side of this thing. So I incubated for about 6 hours that day. I woke up in the afternoon feeling a lot better. And now before I went to bed, Kim had called me from work saying that she had also tested positive. So we tested positive on the same day, and we were both there in bed, with this recovery mode. So after my first little incubation period, it was around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I woke up feeling a little bit better. My symptoms were never exaggerated. They never advanced. So I was trying to, again, be proactive before the symptoms advanced to any kind of, coughing or aches or joint aches and all that stuff. So I woke up feeling much better, not quite 100%. I knew I was not doing well. I tested myself, and I did test positive. So I went back I drank plenty of water. That's another thing. When you're incubating like that, you got to drink plenty of water. So I went back to sleep, and I found that my body could go right back to sleep. I was really tired because under usual circumstances, I don't sleep that much during the day at all because I had had a good night's sleep before. So after about 6 o'clock in the evening, I'm waking up, and I'm starting to feel again not bad at all. Woke up, ate, had some water, sit around for a while, and then about 8 or 9, I was back to sleep again. And I slept until most of the night. I woke up the next morning, this is around Wednesday, I'm feeling pretty good, little sore throat, but I'm feeling like this is pretty much over. I'm thinking I'm on the other side of this. So I got up and going throughout my day, I felt like I could have worked out, but I didn't work out that day. I wanted to give my body the rest that it needed. So I kind of laid around that day. Didn't lay down very much, just kind of laid around. That evening, I started to feel the sore throat, starting to get to be a little more sore, more difficult to swallow. So I went back to sleep. It was around 8 o'clock that night. And again, incubating, getting on those layers, sweating it out. I woke up the next day, then we're talking about Thursday, feeling much better. I mean, Thursday I really could have worked out. I felt strong. Sore throat was very minor. Maybe a little bit of muscle weakness, but no real joint pain, never a loss of smell or taste. I would say it was a mild condition that I had. I was taking my vitamin therapies every day and continuing with the apple cider vinegar, those things I talked about before, apple cider vinegar, and with the vitamin C and those things like that to kind of keep everything as balanced as it could be. Woke up on Friday and I worked out. I had a good workout on Friday. I thought I would be weaker. I felt a little bit of a residual. So this is after the third day. I felt a little bit of residual, but I worked out and was pretty strong. Didn't feel any, adverse effects working out. No joint pains, no stiffness, no weakness. And here it is on Saturday. This is day number 4. This would be day number 4 with Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah, it's day number 4. Working out again, no problem, no pain. So my experience was that this was not a bad condition that I had. And I know some may say, well, you're in good shape. I don't know. I can't equate to anything. God gives us an amazing immune system. I'm strong. I'm healthy. But I'm also 65, which makes me a little bit more susceptible than others. But all in all, I'm feeling good. I wish you good health. And, I was telling my congregation of people at our church that, it's coming. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. We've known people that have gotten COVID, and we're seeing more and more people that are closer to us getting it, and we're seeing a high recovery rate. So we should have more confidence than we had at the beginning when it was a lot of fear involved. So I'm just speaking confidence to you right now and knowing that you can make it through this, that God is good. He has strengthened you. Be encouraged, and I'm on your side. I'm always praying for you. Okay, so that's my story about my recovery. I'm going to give you updates if there are any with myself. Kim is doing well also. She had a quick recovery. She's a little bit tired today, but all in all, she's been, off from work, that they want to keep her off for a couple of weeks there. And she's been doing most everything well. Our whole family's pretty much going through this from the beginning of the year through COVID, and we're singing God's praises. So I hope that you're having a wonderful day wherever you are, and that you have a speedy recovery. If you get this, I hope you don't, but if you do, know that you got this. And whatever you do the rest of your day, guys, make it as awesome as you are. See ya.